Hello everyone. Today we are doing a domestic flight within the Dominican Republic from Puerto Plata to Punta Cana. So hard to say if it's gonna be good enough for VFR.
Yeah, well, Windy was saying it's hang on a minute, I think this is picking up from my desktop rather than the actual mic.
I think that if it was going through from your desktop it would be much worse. But yeah, anything's possible. Well, I'm checking the current METAR at the airport and it says it's scattered at 2,500 and broken and no 30,000, so that's no issue there. But if when I load up to the airport, the cloud layer doesn't look like broken. Like scattered. It's more.
It's quite overcast, that, isn't it? But
Um,
it's looking quite bright. It's dark above it, but it's looking quite bright further on. I mean,
yeah,
we've got gazillion VFR VORs to aim at if we wanted to.
yeah, and actually there is also. Let me share desktop here in Discord, so you don't need to watch my stream. If I show you my screen, then they even have SIDs, so we can follow that if you are not certain.
Yeah, I've got the charts. Let's have a look at charts. SID 26.
Do you have the same as me?
Yeah, well, no, I've got the
418.
Jefferson charts.
I know, but the procedure must be the same, right?
Yeah, Codex maybe. Oh no, it's runway 8.
Yeah, I have runway 8 there.
Oh, runway 6. Yeah, so it's the Codex. Right turn, right turn, right turn. I knew it would be right turns because there's lots of terrain there to the south.
I have the standard one without the RNF.
Oh yeah, that's that been it. Oh, it's only coming from runway 8.
Pokil 1 departure.
Yeah, Pokil 1, that's runway 8.
Yes. Believe we are alright using runway 8. By the way, what aircraft do you have?
I was going to take the Seneca 5 out for a bez out, but I've not got any of my bindings set. Well, I've just copied all the bindings from the 310, which might be quite interesting.
And
Basic ones all work, so well, we'll give it a shot.
you required an aircraft hopper.
Yeah. We'll see whether it works or not.
Passengers are not comfy. I wonder if it has anything to do with the 35 degrees outside. Just open the door for them.
Hey Thomas, hey John, long time no see.
Hi there.
Hello, Joshua.
Hey.
You still alive?
I am still alive, barely after all this moving across the country, but I'm still here.
So still happy and kicking?
Yes, still alive and kicking, and much happier now that I got my rider pedals back.
All right. Are you joining us today?
Yeah, I think I will.
Splendid.
Is not joining us. He left his own flight. Now he's back.
Splendid. Yeah, I wanted to end the sharing, and what I did. Disconnect.
Yes, I gotcha.
Okay. So yeah, so we'll definitely wait for you.
Yep, I should be good to go. I'm gonna be rusty in the Chancellor. I haven't flown in a long time now.
It's not a long flight today. It's like
I was looking over like an hour or so.
15 minutes, yeah. the clouds. Look at the like well, we might have some clouds at departure, but overall then it looks better. So I'll just, for practice purposes, I'll just fly the SID by hand. It's a VOR SID.
Should be fun.
Should be fun, definitely. And I will cheat a little bit and maybe identify my first fix by magnetic, you know, radial and distance. Maybe.
Yes, that makes sense. I think I think we can allow that.
Yeah.
So which transition are you doing?
Well, actually,
Up,
something not neither 121 nor 142 radial. I'm doing 133.
Oh.
So it was something in the middle. So you know, it will be kind of a combination, you know, because I don't want to end up on an airway. So it's so I'll fly the SID and just intercept the 133 radial. And which reminds me, I need to fill up my plan.
Yeah, I've just said VFR.
I will be a little bit more specific this time.
What are you flying today, John?
Seneca 5.
Okay, very nice.
I haven't used it in a while. Thought about it. Give it a blast out. Apparently it's been updated and a lot of the foibles have been fixed.
Ah, very good. The foibles.
Okay, I filed my flight plan.
What winds are technically favoring 08, technically?
Yeah, I plan to depart 08.
Gotcha.
Oh, so it was actually you, Joshua, that was loaded up before John.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, that must have been me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only just connected. So.
And I see you S310, John, because I made that one. You know that mapping.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
I know. I'm gonna start my engines because I can.
Good reason.
Clear prop.
None of my fins work.
So we should have an QNH of 1014.
Roger.
It shows 40 feet, and the airport is... Where's the elevation there? 17 feet. So probably... should probably go a little bit lower. So what VFR squawk are we squawking here? 1200 or 7000?
That's a very good question.
I guess I'll stay with 1200 for now. We are close to Puerto Rico, so...
Go with that. That seems logical.
Should probably close the door.
I'm changing aircraft.
What are you changing to?
Put 310 in. None of my drive mappings are working. It was I was turning master on, it was turning all the alternators off, and then put alternators on, turning master and alternators off each individual. It was just doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So I need to sort that out.
That would be kind of difficult to fly. At least it gives me time to actually tune in some radios there. Because the SID requires me to tune the radio. 115.1. Course, it's gonna be... I'll put like 084. I also want an rather nice low en route if we need to revert to flying instruments. I think that for now it's alright.
There's plenty of VORs. I'm just going to go VOR to VOR if we have to.
Yeah. But I will rather go VFR.
Oh yeah.
So shall we all taxi and backtrack together?
That works for me.
Not even in sim yet.
Yeah, we know you are slower, but it's alright. We have time. As of now, there is no controller. So, according to what I'm seeing, you don't have landing gear out.
Oh, fun.
Now it's going out.
Oh, there we go.
Did you see the same,
Delayed.
Joshua?
Hovercraft. No, yours has wheels.
Yeah, but John's.
Oh, John's, I didn't see his.
Okay, it just came out. Too bad I need to have my headphone simulations on in this aircraft, because otherwise I would not be heard over the roar of the engines. But the sound is pretty good in this one. The great circular distance is just 144, but we've planned for 200. I want to see some mountains. Should be actually flying, if you're flying the same altitude as I do, we should be flying below the peaks. That will be to our
fun.
right.
As long as we don't enter any clouds, we shouldn't hit any rocks.
Yeah. Well, if we go into clouds, then we'll need to kind of transfer to some kind of IFR. We'll play British. Right, John?
Sorry, I wasn't listening. I was too busy trying to work out how to start this thing.
That if it comes to that, we'll just play British. Uncontrolled flights, pop up IFR into the clouds without speaking to anybody.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's the way we roll.
I'm really surprised to know.
Class G. Yeah, Class G all the way, baby. Oh, this thing won't start. What's going on?
Control E.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
As if it's no power. I'll turn the power on and nothing happens.
Have you checked the
gas,
fuel
air, spark.
selectors?
Yeah. It's not. It's as if there's no power comes on. It does this all the time. Stupid, bloody. Right. Restart.
Be right back. I'm gonna grab a refill for my water.
Funny animation of your propellers, Joshua. It's really strange what I'm seeing.
Ha 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 ha.
So you're going.
One engine start.
It's nice that I can actually see that you have one engine started.
Numero two.
There's a second.
Oh. I'll just go a little bit and wait before the runway at taxiway Alpha.
Raja.
And we'll just backtrack together.
Sure, I'll follow number 2.
So, how is it that I should do run up? Like rolling run up? I mean, stand partly on the brakes, maintain my taxi speed, and do a run up check.
There you go.
It's the way how it's done.
I suppose so.
Yeah, this airport is nice.
The convoy of 310s.
Well, the
414 masquerading as a 310.
Actually, you're showing up as a 414 because I've got one of them.
Just probably have to get the mapping.
must be a mapping. What else?
Always mapping.
So where do you want to do some run up, here or at the end of the runway? I guess here, right?
This works, yeah.
Because we don't want to occupy the runway unnecessarily.
So, do we reckon?
Do we
could
what?
get away? Do we reckon we could get away with taking off from this intersection?
Well, we could.
Short field.
It's
Practice
rather
short field takeoffs.
It's rather hot though. Rather hot day.
Otherwise, we're going to have to do it sort of. There is another turnaround area at Mike.
Yeah.
I suppose we could go down there and sort of file in there.
It's Air Force Base parking.
I'll pretend I'm Air Force.
Okay.
I'll stick a roundel on the side of my plane.
Okay, doing quick run up. You will welcome a little bit of prop wash behind me.
Yes.
Because
Cool once they have that modeled.
Because I couldn't care less about turning the other way.
Not even a slight angle, it's just perfectly straight.
Right. Everything looking good. I'll check the controls. You cannot see me operating controls, right? Like elevator right now.
No.
Oh, okay. There's still something to the immersion missing. Okay, let me know when ready, so we can go onto the runway.
2's ready.
Yep.
Yeah, alright.
Lock and load, baby, lock and load.
Yeah, so there is nobody around us, so we just enter incognito. So are we doing...
Vaccine calls are optional then?
Say again?
I'm assuming vaccine calls are optional then.
Well, yeah, if we are alone here. Today they are. Tomorrow they wouldn't be. I believe I'll take the whole runway, just to be sure. It's not that much farther.
Nothing more useless than good runway behind you.
True, true. go a little bit more straight. Okay, you ready for departure?
And 2's ready.
Yep.
Okay,
Here you go.
let's roll.
Man, a 310 takes off. It's fast.
What?
That 310 is quick.
Is it?
For me, it is.
Well, you are quicker in the air.
What are we climbing to? First altitude?
First altitude is 7,500.
Roger.
But now I'm climbing straight ahead. At least to this poke hill, which is 6 nautical miles from the VOR. I'm just simulating the sit. And now I'll need to reduce power to keep my engines from burning.
What, top of the green arcs on both?
Yeah, top of the green arc on both. You can do the max, but not continuously for too long. And I'll transfer to 120 knots. So we took off all at once?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
So I can see Josh.
Yeah, I could see both of you behind me if I looked back. Or when I looked back. So normally at 2,700 you are allowed to begin the turn, but not before the poke hill, so... Still climbing away. Straight out.
Climb rate you're getting.
I have about 1,000 feet per minute.
Just under that.
But I'm not going 120 yet.
Velocity's lagging on me, so I'm gonna pass you up on the left side.
Okay, so I'm tuning 133 course. And once I pass 6 DME, I will just try to intercept that one. It's there, so turning right. And then when I intercept it, then at 12 DME I will start following my nav log. Sometimes my climb rate like drops to 500 or something. Don't know why. And then it climbs again. Can see someone on my left.
That would be me.
That's you. Where would John be?
Behind yous all.
Okay. I don't like those clouds here.
Yeah, me neither.
So the British way it is. Okay, trying to intercept the course, like slowly. Do you have the VOR tuned as well, Joshua? Or are you just following me?
Yeah, I've got the Puerto Plata one.
Yep. Okay, 500 feet to go. We are nearing the cloud there. Okay, so the British IFR it is. Joshua, you there? Or have we lost him?
I'm still here. Sorry, my mic muted.
Okay, you're still there. Do you also have clouds in front of you?
Affirm.
Okay. Right, so we are leveling off at 12 nautical miles almost. So when we reach that, it's gonna be heading off 184.
184, roger.
Which I'm starting to turn right now. Right into the cloud. Good.
What's your speed?
Right now it's 155, 156, something like that.
Roger.
But it's not stabilized yet.
Roger.
I want to stabilize it at 175 true airspeed, so I need to do some calculations first. Okay, so let me do the calculations. Pressure altitude is exactly what I'm flying, or very roughly. Outside air temperature around 15 degrees plus. So we do that while I'm flying. So 15 degrees at 7,500. It's about there. Yeah, so in order to do 175 through, I should be doing, that doesn't look that correct. Oh, maybe it does. Yeah, I should be doing 150. So I need to slow down a little bit. I don't suppose you're gonna be on my tail in this?
I don't think I can. I was trying to, but I think I finally lost you in this thick soup right now. So
I'm now exiting the cloud, and in front it looks good.
Roger.
So I want to settle my airspeed at about 150 knots. Finally.
Indicated?
Indicated, yes.
Okay.
That should give
Oh,
me
there you
one.
are.
That should give me 175 through.
I couldn't do too bad. I'm only a little bit behind you to the right.
Okay, so let me just quickly verify how long this leg should be flown. About... Oh, it's just about 5 minutes. We're coming up on it. Let me just consult my map. Oh yeah, should have some hills on the right side, not visible. And I'm descending right now. I need to get my bearing and try to fly stable. So after this, we're gonna be heading a 199er. It's gonna be pretty much turning now to 199er. Just a little bit cloudy. So how has the moving been treating you, Joshua?
Just I mean, super crazy. I mean, we kind of decided to pack up and move from East Coast to West Coast back again because we were on the West Coast originally, and yeah, that was a bit of a crazy decision. So a couple weeks of packing everything, and then about 9 days of road trip across the country. We went south, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona. Then we shot up. We're in Idaho now. So yeah, then once we got here, living at a hotel for a couple days, driving around like crazy, trying to find a place to rent that we want to be in, and
oh, you were like going blind and finding
basically,
yeah,
okay.
Okay.
It was IFR without any procedure. So yeah, just like you said, the British way, Class G IFR. So yeah, no, there's procedures in Class G, but no, yeah, so a little bit of blind, and yeah, found a really good place. It's a little bit more expensive per month than what we were paying before, but the problem that kind of motivated the whole thing is the apartment we were at in Virginia was having a bit of a mold problem, and the way they wanted to remediate it did not seem like a very let's just say adequate way of remediating it.
The answer for a moldy flat in Virginia is moving to Idaho.
Is moving. Yeah. So okay. that is the insanity. But no, it's one of those things. We've been looking at Idaho for a long time. In Virginia, we were getting a really good deal on the particular apartment that we were out of, but to rent someplace else, the rents had gone up significantly over the time since we've been renting. So if you're going to kind of start at a new place, then the price of that's going to be pretty expensive. So it was a little bit more expensive in Idaho than in Virginia, but only like marginally. And we had wanted to be in Idaho, so it's like, well, now or never, I guess. No time like the present. So it's not the main reason, but it was kind of like the reason that got us started looking again. Like, okay, well, we're gonna have to move somewhere. Have to pack it up. Either way, one way or the other, we're gonna have to pack everything and move it. So, do we want to do this again, or do we just want to knock it out while we have everything packed up now? Like, well, let's just do it now. So, yeah, a little crazy, a little insane, but it worked out. Very nice place now, much bigger square footage. So.
It is actually crazy, but I believe that in the US, it's kind of standard to be doing such stuff, right?
Yeah, it's not unheard of. We have family out here too, so that kind of helped a little bit. They were able to do a little bit of searching for us while we were driving across the country. So we had we had a list basically of some possibilities. So it wasn't completely blind.
Okay.
Still had to verify it once we're there.
It's still crazy, according to my standards.
No, yeah, it is definitely.
Usually root it in place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting used to it now, but for the first, I'd say 25 years of my life, I was in one place in the country, moving around maybe locally, but the last 5 years or so have been a little bit insane. So,
and
I don't know what happened to me.
It's easier when there's only two of you. I'm assuming there's only two of you.
Yeah, well, it's me, my mom, and my younger brother. So my dad is separated from my mom. So we've been kind of just hanging out for now. And yeah, there's no young kids in the picture or anything, though. We're all adults, so it is pretty easy. Not uprooting from schools or having to rebuild social networks completely. So it's not as disruptive as it would be if you're a whole family unit or something. Like the typical family unit. Ours is a little non-standard.
Yeah, it's a little easier now when people are able to sort of remote work and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And since most of my, pretty much all my income for the last 5 years has been through remote. I've just been doing, math tutoring. I've been doing that since college, and I had another job working at a math curriculum.
You're a math tutor.
Place. Yeah, math tutor.
Ah.
So. Yeah,
You
that's
must
me.
you must love the channels like was it like 3 brown 1 blue or 3 blue 1 brown?
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, I try to stay with the low level math channel since I have to still relate to my students. So I'm usually just most of my time on YouTube is spent trying to look up whatever the latest shows kids are watching these days. I'm like, okay, I gotta stay relevant.
Because I just love that channel. I
Yeah,
understand like
it's,
third of the things he's saying, but
it's really fun though. Yeah, that's like my other interest is I've learned how to kind of play piano. My mom taught me to play piano, but I never really like took any music lessons or music classes or anything. So a music theory is really interesting to me. So I watched the one channel 8-Bit Music Theory, and he has all this great lingo about musical theory. Like it's a similar experience for me. I understand maybe like a fifth of what he's actually saying, but it makes me feel smart.
Yeah, there's maths in music theory as well.
There is, yeah. There's definitely a lot in that. So the good old debate whether it's a math or maths. I've come around to liking maths more than math because there is so much to it.
It's one of those, isn't it? We call it maths because it's mathematic.
It makes sense. I think there's a good argument to that.
But then there's the counter argument that it's in the same bracket as economics.
Ah.
One of those quirks of English.
Yeah, English is so fun. Yeah, dude. Math tutoring is most of my thing up to high school. A little bit, we'll do some college calculus here and there, but most of my students are the high school crowd.
Tried getting into calculus. I never did maths when I was a kid. I understood it, sort of, but I never got around to doing it. So I started because I'm getting into physics.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, you definitely need maths for that.
Yeah, especially calculus. So I was getting more into the sort of the theory.
I always loved maths.
Sorry, I was flying. I'm sorry.
I always loved maths, but when one doesn't use it, tends to forget some things. So I started watching those YouTube channels, and while I am watching this certain video, I feel like I understand it, But then it ends. I was like, okay, well, if I need to do the same as he did, how do I do that?
How do I go about that?
Yeah, you got to get the pen and paper out and actually do it yourself.
Yeah, because I always desisted like the kind of memorizing anything in math. It was always, if you can figure it out yourself, then you tend to remember it much better. And second, you don't need to remember it.
Right, you can just derive it from scratch. Well, yeah, that's the debate I always had with my mom. Cause my mom was a top student in her class, and her method was much more of the memorized method. So when I was, in school learning maths, around the time I was in pre-calculus or like trigonometry and that kind of stuff, I wanted to start trying to figure out like, well, why does this stuff actually work? I mean, I've been buying this stuff for the last however many years in math, but like, how do we actually know this is true? And I would be, just struggling and, crumpling up pieces of paper, trying to figure out, like, why does this make sense? And my mom would be just like, just memorize it. I'm like, no, I can't just memorize it. I need to know why this works.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same. I need to know the why.
Why does this
why I
work?
got into physics.
Why is sine squared plus cosine squared equal to 1? Why does that make sense? It actually really does make sense.
Exactly.
And then it came in handy when when I got into aviation a lot. So they were complementary because a lot of the stuff in aviation is very mathematical with like horizontal, vertical components of lift and all that stuff. So it's fun.
Philip, we might need to descend a little bit, looking southeast. I have some clouds there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm about 10 miles behind you, and I'm going. Yeah, I might have to climb because there's mountains and stuff.
Well, yeah, that's another topic.
But then again, I can see them at I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like I can see one from the distance. 'Cause I'm more or less the same height as you, so it's like
I'll actually descend a little bit.
My new recent challenge is I'm trying to get back into chemistry again. It's been a weak spot for me the last few years, and I'm like, you know what? I gotta figure this out.
Chemistry.
What Professor Brian Cox would call applied physics.
Yes.
If you can try and get hold of it, try and watch it. Listen, there's a Radio 4, BBC Radio 4 program called Infinite Monkey Cage, and it's Professor Brian Cox and a comedian called Robin Ince. It's very sciencey, and it's very funny. And
Let's check that out.
Infinite Monkey Cage.
Infinite Monkey Cage. I need to get motivation for my chemistry studies. That's an area where I'm like, why does this actually make sense, though? Sounds like half of this stuff is made up to me.
Yeah, he makes the argument that chemistry is just applied physics, and biology is just applied chemistry.
Everything is just physics.
Exactly, that was his argument.
And then physics is just math. Everything is just math.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's what I liked about it. The maths fit the physics, and the physics fit the maths. It just explain everything using formulas.
Yep, it is nice. It's funny when it kind of turns into that too when you are trying to explain like aerodynamics to folks in aviation, or when you're trying to figure it out yourself. It's funny because at the end of the day, if you keep drilling down deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, like, well, how does a wing produce lift? Why does it produce lift? It's like, well, because the equations say so. It's like, we don't actually know. It just does.
Somebody will be able to explain. The fact is, you just go, somebody somewhere will be able to explain it to you. I just can't.
It's just not me.
Yeah, I know. It's and to put that, there are a lot of like incorrect descriptions how the wing produces lift. So go figure.
Oh, you're gonna go into the Bernoulli's principle there.
No, not Bernoulli.
No.
You use Bernoulli's equations for some of it, but definitely not the Bernoulli's principle
for
as such.
Aerodynamics and efficiency, but the real reason is third law. It's just physics.
Yeah.
Equal and opposite reaction. Like Joshua said,
plus some advanced fluid dynamics.
Yeah, it's the fluid dynamics is like nobody understands how fluids actually work, so it's just like it's a bunch of weird differential equations that we don't fully comprehend. Yeah. That it works out.
So there are some Bernoulli's equations, but Bernoulli principle itself is not correct because that is limited to some closed, one flow, like a closed system, one flow, and over the wing you have actually two flows, one over and the other one under that wing. So it doesn't really apply.
I was watching this old, it was like an old TV program that they had put together, and I think it was like post World War II. Where some of the German scientists had come to work and do research in America, and it was this German aerodynamist, and he was or aerodynamicist, I don't know exactly how to say it, aeronautical engineer, call him that, and he was kind of demonstrating on the program their kind of first version of the wind tunnel and the smoke tunnels, and trying to explain everything and kind of showing how the flow works. And that was his explanation of how the wing produces lift. Is like, here you can see it producing lift, but it wasn't like a cause effect reason why I was doing it. But it was really interesting to see all the lifting body kind of experiments he was working on, and like if you put a spinning cylinder in there, it produces lift just like a wing does. So it was like all those weird kind of UFO-esque aerodynamic experiments they were doing back in those like early days of aviation. It's really interesting to see, and it's like, oh, it's funny that we don't have as many of those kind of things now. It's like the wing is just simpler. Just give me a flat board and curve it a little bit there. That works, but there's lots of other ways to produce lift. So seeing those demonstrations is interesting.
Yeah, they'll just do all those sort of things in computers now.
Yep.
To a certain
Modeled.
extent.
Yeah. Model it.
I was actually
Fast
watching
enough.
this very nice new wing design. That's I don't know how it's called, but he had very like very many like flap and slats positions, you know, in front and behind, like on the leading and trailing edge of the wing. And he was explaining how he designed it and how it produced like it was like wing that you can fly very very slowly with.
Yeah,
I need to find that YouTube video.
Yeah, that'd be cool to see. It reminds me at some point if we put enough flaps and slats on wings, we'll just have a bird wing at some point. You know, just a bunch of individual feathers.
Yeah. Was descending, and still ended up in a cloud at 3,500.
Yep.
But I still see the ground, so I'm like a semi VFR.
We're clear of clouds.
I can still see you through a gap in the clouds, but I'm still up at about 7,000.
We're still at 7,000?
Yeah, but that's looking quite angry in front of me. I'm going to sort of skirt around this, I think.
Yeah, but I think that the haze goes actually all the way to the ground somehow.
I'll just go aim for this VFR then. This VOR.
Aim for this VFR. That was good.
Aiming for a VFR. Well, we're aiming. That's what we're doing. We're aiming for VFR.
Yes.
We're missing it, but we're still aiming for it.
We're still aiming at it. It's got to count for something.
10 out of 10 for effort.
Yeah, what does the METAR says here? Okay, so it says, okay, well, I understand it now. The METAR around this airport is few clouds, 1,600, cumulonimbus, then broken, 1,800, scattered 30,000. So
few cumulonimbus, great. That's wonderful.
Yes. So I'm thinking that maybe I should climb instead of descend if I'm already in the cloud.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing VFR, VOR. I keep calling it VFRs. It's this glass of wine I'm just having.
I'll just climb out again. I know that I am close to the shore, so mountains are not a problem. Yeah, this is not by regulations, but
my internal voice in my head is like, this is so bad. I'm like simulant pilot. I'm like, this is not good. This is what we call a bad day. We're professionals. We can handle it.
Look, guys, I'm actually
it started raining.
I'm pretty much above all this CB stuff, actually.
Are you? I'm
Yeah,
pretty much in it.
I'm skimming the tops. I'm aiming for that VOR, and I'm sort of skimming the tops of it. There's a little bit ahead of me. I might climb to about 9,000, but maybe.
I'm climbing through the clouds right now.
Well,
I should have followed John. No.
But because of the Sims the way it is, what I see as cloud might not be what you see.
Yes. That's very
Remember
true.
that time, yeah, like that time in Australia, I was dodging around the clouds and you were going, well, I was completely blind all of the way there.
Yeah. From my perspective, it was looking like you were purposefully, aiming for the clouds.
Maybe I was.
I'm sure you were.
Well, I'm doing sort of very British IFR. I'm sort of aiming in the general direction, keep retuning the VOR and dodging around clouds.
I elevated that to a new level, though. because I am doing IFR by dead reckoning.
Like old school.
Now beat me. Or beat
Now,
me. Yeah, IFR by dead reckoning. Beat that.
This is good though. I'm enjoying this though. I'm dodging around the
I-
cloud, but as long as I'm heading in the general direction of that VOR, I'm happy.
only way to beat IFR by Dead Reckoning is IFR by Pilot Edge.
Oh yeah.
Wait.
Hey, do you think it would be like that? You know, cumulonimbus cloud could be a good like user fix that I can plan ahead. You know.
Say moving
Yeah,
waypoint.
but, yeah. No, turn right by that cloud. You know.
At exactly 3 o'clock.
The problem is, since I'm not seeing anything, I don't know where am I, and I'm flying slowly than I was, so my dead reckoning skills might suffer a little bit, I think.
Problem is, since I can't see anything, I'm not exactly sure what plane I'm following. Oh, that's a 30-degree bank. Okay, I'm meant to be straight and level.
It's so easy to get some bang here, right? In this soup. Oh, I'm starting to see the top of clouds.
Yeah. Whoa, this is a big sort of canyon of cloud and plowing through it, and there's a big blacken at the end.
Yeah. So-
Zipping through. This is quite exciting.
So a little bit of calculation. I should have flown for 13 minutes, but at about 9 minutes, I slowed down to 120 instead of 175. Or not 120, maybe 130. So by 50 knots. So I'm doing like 2/3 only. So the rest of the 4 minutes should take me like 6 minutes at least, right? Roughly.
I think I've overtaken both of you. I'm seeing you on my T-captain type thing.
You have the map.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I've got,
You're
I've got
busted. You're so
T-cap.
busted.
yeah, but I'm hand playing.
Me too.
Well, there's a first.
Shut up.
Shots fired.
No, we are guys. You know, those shots are blind.
Oh yes. Also on this tour, the name of the tour implies. Okay, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Once you're through this bit of soup, it opens up quite nicely. Actually, it's pretty
Does it?
pretty scattered.
No way. How am I still behind you? This is impossible. With all my 30-degree banks, I'm still off your right wing. How is this possible? This
Because
is
he's
impossible.
also doing. Because he's also just as lost as you.
He's also lost situational awareness.
So do you see
We've
me or
lost-
what?
Yeah, I'm right behind you on your
Are
5
you?
o'clock. Yeah. This is ridiculous.
Oh my god.
This is stupid. I don't know how that's possible.
Were you actually following some, traffic dots or something?
Well, I was trying to follow your lights as best I could, but then I lost you for a good minute and a half. And I'm like, well, and then I was doing 30-degree banks. I'm like, well, I'm just gonna head approximately 150 degrees, and then oh, there you are. Cool.
So we were doing the proper British IFR, not seeing each other and flying in the same
We-
cloud.
Even maintain formation,
Oh my god.
minimal traffic separation.
I wouldn't even call it separation, to be honest.
No, there was no visual separation. There was no radar separation. There's just no separation at all. So.
Yeah. So I'm aiming for 15 minutes instead of 13, since I was in the cloud. And then I'll make the turn and we'll see how that pain,
Well, I'm sort of VFR now. I'm more or less clear of clouds. I'm just dodging around some scattered CBs, but I'm basically following the coast.
So you cut some corners from our plan.
Well, I was aiming for that Sam VOR, which is just north of the track, and
Is
then
it the
that
name?
got me out of the
Some
cloud.
VOR?
Is it SAM?
Oh,
112.4. Oh no, that's a different one.
Beware of the ground-to-air missiles.
No. 114.1. Oh no, 114.7. Oh, that's at the San Domingo, Las Americas International.
I'm only slightly off, I believe.
Or over the coast, so that's a
Yeah,
thing.
we're over the
I can
coast.
see, I can see you on my.
Don't even say that word.
I'm saying TCAS radar, traffic radar.
Yeah, but that implies that you have your map on.
Well, no, not necessarily. I've got TCAS on.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, you're right, you're right. But I believe you have the map.
Well, yes, I have that, but to be honest, I've not really been. I've only been looking at it to see where you are, because at first I was just actually following you. I was looking to see where you were on the map and followed you.
So, are you telling me you haven't prepared your navlog?
Up until 20 minutes before jumping in the sim, I was working and then having my tea.
Okay, well, the main thing is you're here, so you're forgiven.
I'll let you do the prep and then I'll just follow you.
That's my strategy.
It works. It works brilliantly.
It does.
Until it doesn't.
Until I fly into a CB and can't see anything.
Okay, so let me just quickly consult the map. 6 minutes on this. Yeah, we are like, I should be over the land. I'm like over the sea, so
Yeah, if you're just a few miles just off the coast there.
a little bit farther. But then that peninsula that's in front of us, De las Americas,
Yep,
or
that's
Boca
the VOR.
Chica.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
or Boca Chica,
Well,
something.
I would be if I was getting around this cloud, but
That's
I can see the coast now, so I'm sort of heading for that inlet, the other side of the peninsula.
Yeah, that's my next visual reporting point. But seeing that cloud right above that peninsula, I'm just renaming it to reporting point.
Yeah, I'm seeing that cloud as well. I suspect that's come from the METAR.
Yeah.
Which airport is that off our left? Is that the
Off our left, right now,
that's
San
gonna be...
Isidro. San
Okay,
Isidro. San Isidro.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And in front of us
obviously
is
the
De
one I
las
got mixed.
Americas.
Sure.
De las Americas. So, but for me, it's not gonna be a VRP, it's just gonna be a RP. I will need to strike that visual from it. But so far I actually see it. I see the runway. It runs from south to north. And heading straight for clouds. But I somehow managed to trim this aircraft, so I don't need to touch rudder pedals. I don't need to touch the rudder. Just fly straight. I will need to check my settings if it didn't revert to turbulence low, because it's running too smoothly.
I'm gonna break off here and go low. I'm gonna just check out some of this terrain. Going low off the left.
So I can check it out.
I see a gap.
So let's see. Turbulence is medium, so it didn't change.
This is all looking very nice. So now we're out with all that rubbish. Just scattered ahead, really. Maybe few following this coast.
And what altitude are you doing, John?
7.5.
7.5. You must be, like, you must have some, at least slightly different clouds. Because I'm still in the thick of it. And now Joshua wants to ram me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think you've just been unlucky because you come into that. I went round to the left, and there's a big lump of CB just above the airport, and I think you've just flown straight through the middle of it, and I skirted around the left of that.
Yeah,
Once you're out of that, it's all clear once you're out the other side of that.
yeah, I'm going straight through it.
Yeah, I'm dropping down to 5.5. So.
Yeah, you're 5.5. Okay. Are you in the cloud, Joshua, right now?
Not now. I just got past I'm abeam the peninsula right now, and I'm
Yeah.
abeam the peninsula.
So you must have clouds in different positions than me.
Yeah. I don't know exactly how that works, but don't know if anybody knows how that works.
I don't think so, no. So I'm not gonna time my legs now and just position myself to where I was supposed to be. And run to Catalina Island. Okay, now clouds are better. I'm also always including in my video if it was a VFR or IFR flight, and I don't know what I'm gonna mark it as today. Maybe some slash V/IFR.
ZFR.
What was it?
It said ZFR. Like, I'm just making things up.
Yeah.
SVFR special.
I believe you still need to be outside.
It was real. It was real special. VSVFR, very special VFR.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because we have special VFR over here. That is an actual thing.
Yeah, special VFR is an actual thing.
Yes.
Very special VFR is what we made up.
Yeah.
You have also very special VFR, Jonah? Like for real, or just special VFR?
Just special.
Okay, well, they have that in US as well.
Do they? Oh, God.
Yeah.
I ought to know that, really.
I want ES VFR. It's extremely special. I should do that to a controller on VATSIM one day. LA Center, Cessna 172, Sierra Papa, request extremely special VFR. I just be very stupid.
I'm 100 foot off the floor, 200 feet ceilings. I need them really special.
I'm right behind a red Toyota Camry right now.
That's the kind of VFR you can only get in a sim, you know.
Following a tractor trailer, semi-truck down the 5 right now. I'll maintain visual separation.
By the way, Joshua, you were not here when I made a note about that, but I believe it's too late now. You are being recorded, but I guess you know that.
Yes, well, there you go. I figured as much.
Okay.
Everything I say can and will be used against me, so.
Not against you, but it will be displayed for those few people that make it there.
Very good. Too late to take away my P2, so.
Watch me.
You have to get your P5 first before you can threaten me.
Yeah, I don't really like that they mixed the instructor ratings with the pilot ratings.
I would have preferred just like P2I or something, I don't know.
Be an internal database.
Yeah,
probably the easiest thing they could do.
It's a technical issue. Oh, yeah, that's true. But I still don't need to like it.
Technical issues shouldn't drive decision making, but that's how it works.
Yeah, you should see our database at work. It really drives decision making.
Okay, I just figured what I'm gonna paste instead of VFR and IFR on this video. It's gonna be RFR. Care to guess?
I'm thinking.
Redacted flight rules. No.
Ridiculous flight rules.
No.
LFR, ludicrous flight rules.
No. It's Rum Flight Rules.
The what flight
Of
rules?
course.
Rum.
Of course.
Rum Flight Rules, like a liquor. Because we are on a rum tasting tour, so
Yes,
we are
this is what
flying.
happens when you. This is what happens when you have far too much rum. Out of an aircraft.
Pretty sure it's a scientific fact that rum lets you see through clouds, so it's
That's true. That's true. I need to make a note of this because I might use that.
pretty sure it's what my chemistry has been telling me. And I don't know.
So rum makes you see through clouds, right? Was it like that?
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah, I just passed that first river after De Las Americas. There you go.
I
That's
wonder
it.
how is it
Dodgy
possible?
position reports.
I wonder how
First
is it.
river, that's the one 5 miles, basically. 5 miles east of the airport.
It's no, I think it's a bit further than that.
Oh, further. Okay.
Try to work
Sorry,
out.
I kept cutting you
think-
out, Thomas. You were
No,
saying you
no,
wondered.
that's all right. That's all right. It's nothing important. I was wondering how is it possible that this aircraft flies so stable today?
You've got it trimmed out. I've got it nicely trimmed out. It's like if this is actually flying better than my car.
Yeah, I'm not touching anything, and it just maintains altitude, it maintains the heading, which is the first. Yeah, I need to make, small corrections, here and there, but
You've got aileron trim mapped as well. See, I've got aileron and
I'm actually using rudder trim instead of aileron, but I have mapped both. I just figured that the forces that would, keep me from flying straight would be more related to yaw than roll. So that's.
I don't know if it's but mine seems to roll a lot to the. So I stick a bit of right
Well,
aileron.
Yeah, the roll effect might be like a secondary one to the yaw motion, right?
Yeah, well, the ball was centered, so I didn't want to use rudder trim because the ball was already centered. I didn't want to go sliding through the air.
Ah, that's actually a good point. That maybe in cruise, I should not do the rudder thing, but maybe the aileron instead. Okay, let me see if I try to do it via using ailerons. But you're still.
And I'm
Yeah. Okay.
Good. No, you can go ahead, Thomas.
No, I was saying that even with the aileron trim, you also like introduce some kind of drag, right?
Right. So I mean, I think that there's roll yaw coupling. I think goes both ways.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah, I've got a
know
little-
which
I've
is
just
like.
just tweaked a little bit of both, and then trying to keep that ball smack in the middle, and the wings are perfectly level now, and it's flying like a dream.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know what is the primary cause of that roll, because it might be yaw, it might be roll.
I suspect it's either fat bloke in the left seat, or not an imbalance in the fuel.
I don't have any imbalance in the fuel right now.
Fat bloke in the left seat then.
And I believe that the seats, yeah, well, I have bigger bloke in left seat, so it might be that. In that case, it would be roll. Or we cannot just, determine that because after all, it's a simulator. And not the real
No,
thing.
it has to be 1-to-1 to real life.
You know what? You know what Spiros said to me when I said something like that? He said, I don't agree with you, because even in the real world, every single 172 will fly differently.
Oh,
So-
yeah, I've been holding that line without having fun at 172, so I'm glad that I'm right.
Yeah. So how do you decide which, what is the correct behavior?
Right. Which 172?
Yeah.
Yeah, the book behaviour or whatever the donor one is. Because
Yeah.
that was always the argument with the Just Fight Pipers. They go, well, this is how I remember how I flew my Piper, and they went, well, this is how the donor one flew.
Yeah, it still needs to be at least roughly correct, because if you make an
then
aircraft,
they tweak it so it matches the book figures
yeah,
closer.
yeah. So if it's like all right if you cannot get, let's say, I don't know, if you cannot get like 1,000 feet per minute, but you only get 900.
Sure.
But maybe it's not good if you get like 3,000 instead.
Sure. Yeah, there's a tolerance there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, like it was until they fixed it.
Yeah. So I'm nearing the Catalina Isle,
Yeah, I'm just
or
gone past it.
Isla Catalina.
Isla Catalina.
How is it? Isla?
Yeah, Isla, I believe.
Isn't it Isla? Like normally?
Isla.
Isla
What's
Catalina.
going on?
What?
What's up?
What's going on?
Oh, hello.
Hello?
Hi, Eric. Yeah, we are flying RFR today.
Ah. Yeah, I'm currently taking notes right now because I've got nothing better to do, honestly.
Then you are in the right place.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, no, I was just taking notes because I was like, well, I've got nothing better to do.
Where are you? Which section are you on? Taking notes on?
Weather information.
Ah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, no, I might have gotten a bit too creative with how I've been noting this stuff down. This section has notably made me pissed off about the atmosphere. I will say that.
well,
I hate humidity.
we are on the topic of weather, maybe we can share our bit of knowledge we gained today, right, Joshua?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, if you all want to stream, I'll have it on like one screen because I've got two screens right now.
I'm streaming, but on Twitch.
Ah, okay.
But the good piece of knowledge, that we figured out today was that we are not flying VFR today, and also we are not flying IFR. We are flying
VOR.
No, we are flying RFR, which states
RFR?
RFR.
What's that?
Like Romeo Foxtrot Romeo. That stands for Rum Flight Rules. Because we are like on this rum tasting tour, and we figured that rum makes you see through clouds. So we are flying Rum Flight Rules today.
Will I be learning that as I keep going on through this? Because I've heard of IFR, VFR, and VOR, and that's about all I know with flight rules.
There is no like VOR.
No, only if you hang out with Thomas on his rum tasting tour when he's had one too many, then you'll be able to see through clouds. But otherwise, no, it's not a real thing.
Okay, I was gonna say. I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Thomas may have his instructor credentials, but no, I'm just kidding.
This isn't an instruction flight.
No.
There's two instructors in here, neither of us are flying any particularly brilliantly. or entirely by the rules.
But we are having fun.
Yes, indeed. I've got a cheeky Rosie next to me.
I still have to get used to flying without like any assist in flight sim, but I'm still on the weather information section, so I think I have to kind of hold off on that until I can get all this info noted down.
Big hint: map all your trims.
Oh,
Yes.
wait, what do you mean, like trim stages?
No,
Just
no.
map your controls to trims. That's how you
well,
create
I've got a HOTAS.
That helps you.
Whatever way you get so easy to trim.
It already has. Yeah, no, it already has a trim on it.
That's good. Yeah, that'll make it a lot easier.
That's the main one.
The only issue is it's on the actual throttle stick. But that's really the only issue I could think of.
Is it like
when
the
it-
T1600 HOTAS? Is it like I can't remember what it is now. Is it
No,
Thrustmaster?
it's the X56, the Rhino.
All right.
That like
So
the
it's
military one.
No, it might be a military one because it's got a trigger.
Yeah, 'cause you have the joystick, and then you have like the
Throttle.
two little thrust lever things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's more of like a military setup.
Has a trigger.
I mean, I was using it for Elite Dangerous originally, but then I was like, I can fly flight sim with this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did mine with it. I have
But
the T1600.
But then I was like, my computer can run Flight Sim 2020, can't it? And then I looked and I was like, yes, it can.
What kind of a setup you got there?
It's got a. I keep forgetting what exactly is on the computer specs wise. But I've got like 2 monitors here. I don't have like an actual area to put the joystick, so where my keyboard is, I just push the keyboard towards the monitors and I just plug them in.
That works.
By the
Yeah,
way,
my setup's really janky. Go ahead, Thomas.
yeah.
Yeah,
By
no,
the way,
if I-
Eric, sorry for interruption. I forgot to note or mention that you are also being recorded here, and you will be
Oh, I
posted
don't mind.
in a YouTube video. So
I don't
Yeah.
mind.
okay.
You're famous.
Now, and please continue.
Last time
Sorry.
I was famous, I was on my dad's YouTube channel.
Yeah, no. So I mean, my setup is also kind of, I don't know. Mine's a little janky. I have a
Yeah.
repurposed keyboard that I labeled all the keys different things. So I like printed out different stickers like nav 1, nav 2, ADF com 1. And I've like restickered this repurposed keyboard, and that's my flight panel.
I've got a flight panel like deck thing that I'm trying on my phone. I still have yet to actively use it during a flight, but I think it will be useful whenever I actually start proper flying. Because then I've got all the statistics there on the board. Now I have to keep looking everywhere.
Yeah, no, those are really fun. I experimented with it for a little bit, but I was repurposing my brother's iPad for it, and he decided to take it back. So
If I had a Stream Deck, then it would be a lot easier for me because then I could just, I don't know, yoink it or something. But like probably like buy a Stream Deck set up for it or something somewhere.
Yeah, I've been looking at them, but they're very expensive.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's like $200. I'm not.
Yeah,
I already
You've gotta-
wasted
you've gotta put-
$300 on the HOTAS. I don't want to spend another $200 on a Stream Deck. But yeah,
then
no,
Then you've got to get SPAD SPAD next on the back of it just to map all those buttons and stuff and get them all working properly.
Yeah. The best part about my phone is that it has a Spigen case, so I can just like stand it up like a prop.
oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have to worry about, picking up my phone, tapping a thing, and then, trying to get my hands back on the throttle because the plane's tilting to the left. Yeah.
Let's see the weather information. Okay, you're in section 2. Yeah, a lot of those things. I mean, the weather information is really important to understand. But I mean, the main things you're gonna learn in there is just
So
Fronts.
you don't end up like us today.
yeah. Well, the main thing is gonna frontal, understanding just the basics. The general characters in the weather systems, and knowing that low pressure brings all the bad things in the world. And then.
Yeah.
The main
So-
thing is that you're going to really want to walk away with is, reading the METARs and the TAFs. That's like your number one priority in that chapter is like, okay, can you decode those things? Because like that's going to be what you're tested on like a check ride or something. Like, okay, well, is this weather good for VFR? It's like, what are the cloud heights and what are the cloud bases? Like knowing all that stuff. That's what really matters.
All I have to do when I go out of work is just look at the clouds, and if it looks very dark, I'm just like, no, there's no flying today. No, fuck that.
It's like, nope.
Yeah, and
Yeah, no,
don't
screw that.
forget about en route weather as well.
Of course. Yeah, winds
Some-
aloft.
Yeah, but I
So-
usually do like shorter routes, like Lexington to Louisville.
How far is that? Like usually like what,
Like
80 miles or so? Or?
it's like intrastate.
Okay.
That's like how far
Okay.
we're talking. We're talking
Okay,
like
so-
we're talking like central Kentucky to like central western, I guess.
So not that far then.
Yeah, no, it's not interstate like going from New Orleans to Houston.
Sure.
That's how I put it.
What kind of planes do you usually fly for now?
So far, I've flown a Cessna and then a Bonanza, but I think I'm gonna go back to Cessna while I do my P1
But what Cessna? Or which Cessna?
172.
172, okay.
The only Cessna that exists. No, just kidding.
The only
Definitely the
Cessna
most
that-
I'm not a big Cessna fan, but I love the 152.
The 152 is very good by JPL. That's a very good one.
Fantastic.
Yeah, listen. It's either gonna be the Bonanza or the Cessna that I use.
172.
And honestly, the Bonanza having to deal with prop is an entirely separate issue. And even though I've got a chart for it too, I don't think I want to deal with that. At least not yet. Maybe for my instrument rating, but not right now.
Yeah, I did Cessna 172 for both the P1 and the P2. Although I didn't have to do the P1 because mine transferred over from the old rating system. But yeah, the P2 I still was on the Cessna 172 as well.
Yeah, for the 172, I've got a few variants where I've got like a variant with the G1000
Mhm.
because like the G1000 is honestly a lot easier to use or understand, not use.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it just depends on how you're coming into it. From if you're in the flat screen generation, and the G1000 is definitely nice. I know some of us have issues reading the digits on it, or they're not as clear. Like the resolution's kind of bad. So then the analog gauges are a little nicer because you can just see the needles pointing at a specific angle, and you know what speed that is. But yeah, it definitely looks simpler. I'll give you that. It's more elegant.
Yeah, and plus the aircraft type that I've got, or the version of the modification that I got for it, actually comes with like a full checklist to help you like find out where everything is.
Nice. Yeah, those are really nice. When you're getting into it, those are really good to have because it's like, where is this thing that they're talking about that I've never heard of before?
All I need to do is like pull up the in-game checklist and then press the eye icon and then just find it and like, oh, okay, there it is.
It's a good teaching mechanism so that you know what that device is, or you know what you're looking for. Like, does it look like a knob? Is it a switch? Like, what is that?
Honestly, I don't even consider it a teaching mechanism. I consider like, I consider it like if you don't review this, you're going to screw something up.
Sure.
By the way, Eric, one important thing, make sure that you are also familiar with the POH to your aircraft.
Yeah, I tried reading the POH to the Bonanza, but I was like, what does any of this mean?
Mainly
complex aircraft.
Mainly for your like performance calculations and so on. The POH should be your Bible.
Especially on like prop aircraft, or like aircraft with like a prop lever where you have to adjust that all the time.
Manifold pressure to the RPMs, that's really important for those. But the other even the Cessna will have performance data for fuel burn at different altitudes, because that changes as you've learned. The atmosphere has different densities, so it's going to affect your fuel burn. Takeoff landing distance requirements, V speeds, what's your stall speeds, flap speeds, like all that stuff. So checklist is good though for getting your flows down and knowing where everything is. And
Honestly, I don't usually have the POH for the Bonanza open whenever I use it. I have like a separate sheet that I found from someone who, you know, played Flight Sim 2020, and I looked at it and I was like, okay, these are actually pretty accurate to what I need for what I need, you know.
Yep.
Because honestly, if you can't understand the POH, it's honestly just better to find a separate guide.
Yeah, I'm
Or
just
like,
just telling you a link for the check ride purposes and so on. You know, if you tell me that you will burn that X amount of fuel during your trip, I want to know how you calculated it. And the answer, I pulled those numbers from the internet, just doesn't fly.
Yeah, right. So you need to have some justification for it.
I think, will that be covered in cross country planning?
Definitely.
Probably,
Yeah, no, like, will there be an equation for me to use?
What?
No equations. Yeah, you won't need to do any like main calculations. The only thing you'll need to know is just like fuel burn times multiplied by how long it takes you. You know, tells you how much fuel to expect. But I think there's
performance and so on.
Yeah, equals performance. Yeah, I think there's a way to do it in SkyVector too. So yeah, feel free to once you get there, feel free to post questions or whatever, or like ask someone. It's not that hard to put together. But when you're trying to figure out how to get started, it's complicated. But yeah, once you get there, that'd be something that'd be easy for someone to show you.
Yeah.
The important thing, like in general, is if you tell us some number, then you better know, where it came from and why, and if it's correct.
All right.
Some general principle.
Yeah, emergency fuel is at least 5%, right?
Emergency fuel. In GA,
Reserve fuel.
reserve fuel. In GA, I would generally like load more than 5%. And again, it also depends on the length of the trip. If your trip is like 30 minutes long, then adding 5% is what, 1 minute, 2. That's really nothing.
Legally you need half an hour.
Yeah, legal minimum's half an hour for day VFR, 45 minutes for night VFR. AOPA and other like real world websites recommended the hour of reserve is just good to have, but you have to. You obviously have to think about it. It's a decision to make. It's not just like, oh, I'm just gonna put this amount of fuel because legally. You want to think about like, okay, well,
yeah. Will the fuel weigh me down too much to where I won't be able to fly?
Sure. I mean, yeah, just throw the passengers out. You don't need them. Feels more important.
Yeah. Well, will the fuel screw me over? That's the real question. But yeah, I've still got a bunch of chapters to do.
It's a lot at first, but.
And are you enjoying the learning process?
Other than learning that the atmosphere sucks. Yeah.
What sucks?
Like I said, other than learning the atmosphere sucks, yeah.
Okay. It does literally suck. The low pressure does suck up air. No, it's okay.
I want to destroy.
Well, just gotta eliminate all the hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen out there, and CO2.
I mean, we breathe oxygen, so I mean we're already destroying that.
Yeah, well that's true. Yeah.
Am I about to see a formation landing?
Probably.
John, does it have right traffic?
Well, traffic.
I thought it would do because there's 2 parallel runways.
Yeah. Okay. I'll join that one as well then.
Well, like, are you doing a traffic pattern landing, Josh?
I'm just gonna fly overhead real quick just to figure out where it's going on because my altitude's a little too high for this position at the moment.
Punta Cana traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Romeo, Twin Cessna about 6 miles to the southwest at 3,400 feet. We'll be joining right downwind runway 09er.
Oh boy, cold fronts.
Ooh, you both stepped on each other badly then.
Yeah, well.
That's uncontrolled airports for you.
Yeah, international airport.
Punta Cana traffic, Golf Tango final runway 09, full stop.
The volume on this is really, really bad. I don't know why my
So
balance is really...
what
47 feet, I think.
elevation? Yeah, 46. Yeah, 47 is from the niner, and it goes down. All right, so time to.
So are you using like flight sim, Josh?
Yeah, this is FS 2020.
Okay. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out because I don't know what that file thing at the top is. I've never seen that.
Dev mode on, so I have extra options available to me.
Why do you have dev mode on?
You're so cocky.
Because I might wanna change the aircraft mid-game instead of having to go back to the main menu.
Oh my god. Now the dev mode just enables you some extra cameras when you're on the ground, or turning on some FPS counters or whatnot.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
I was using it mainly I was testing like takeoff and landing performance of the airplanes in FS 2020, so having to go back to the menu over and over was really annoying, so I just turned on dev mode so I could switch it instantly.
So in order to do the practice flights, I need to have an instructor with me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I've still got these landings nailed in this aircraft now. Oh.
That might be rough because I have work like early mornings, and then my only days off for like Sunday and Monday mornings, at least.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a common problem is finding the time. It took me a long time to get my P2 just because finding the time to first of all study for it and then get a check ride that works is it's difficult.
Yeah, no, it's not difficult studying for me because all studying for me is writing down the information, because if I can write down the information in my own words, that's how I know I understand it. If I can't write it down in my own words and I copy it down word for word, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, that's how I honestly worked when I did AP World History. I wrote everything down in my own words. And a lot of the information that I learned for like anything 1800s onwards, I learned from oversimplified. I'm going to
Whiskey is 1 mile north, 1,500, entering right crosswind runway 9er for full stop.
Punta Cana traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Romeo, just
So,
entering
honestly,
right downwind runway 09er at
if you
45.
saw my
Punta
AP
Cana.
notes, you would be like, what is this guy on? Because I can show you all the chart if you want, but I made an entire chart of who was being allied with who during World War I, and who made the first declaration of war.
It's like
I made a chart of that.
It's like one of those boards, where you have the thumbtacks all in the cork board, and then like strings connecting everything. It's like it's a murder mystery case.
John, I see you going to the general aviation, right? By taxiway Foxtrot.
Roger.
Okay, good.
I see you on left downwind, right downwind even. Oh, fair old shift in that now.
Yeah, I'm on
Punta
track.
Cana traffic, Chancellor 91 Tango Whiskey, right crosswind, turning right downwind runway 9er, 1,500, full stop, Punta Cana.
For some reason, there's a Spitfire parked in the GA area.
Is there now?
Do you have the ground traffic on, John? That's fun.
I must have.
Yeah, because then it pulls models that you actually have. I'm assuming you own a Spitfire.
Yeah.
There you go.
No idea how to fly the damn thing.
Punta Cana traffic, Oscar Kilo Golf Charlie Romeo,
It took
turning
me
right
probably
base
50
runway
attempts just
09er
to get
full
it off the
stop,
ground.
Punta Cana.
Well,
It put a P-38 Lightning at the ground of our departure airport, John. So because I have the Lightning.
well, hell, what did I just find? I just found something
Oh, I've got to go
way
back.
older than I thought. Okay. I'm just gonna step away from that.
Back slowly away.
Hey, wait.
Left yet? the group flight?
Is that Bryce?
Punta Cana traffic,
Yeah.
Oscar Kilo Golf
Yeah,
Romeo,
we're landing now at
final
our
runway 09
arrival
at
airport.
Punta Cana.
Oh, alright. Yeah, I don't get home from school until like 3:45. So.
Dude, I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, I
15
mean,
minutes
you're
after
always.
start.
Yeah, you guys are always welcome to, host your own group flights or, set up a flight and just like post in the channel. So it doesn't have to be official, it's just for anybody who can post. But obviously the instructors, when they post it, they tend to get a little bit more attention, of course. But, when.
Yo, wait, imagine
Yeah.
entire group flight, like, of Cessnas flying all the way on VATSIM from KLEX all the way down to KMSY.
Yeah, that'd be a long flight.
Oh,
Good
it
God,
would
John,
not.
the
I don't
Captain,
think it would
91
honestly be
Whiskey,
that long,
turning
because
right
when
base
I flew
runway.
in a...
Niner, full stop, Punta Cana.
Well, yeah, it would honestly be pretty long considering you're not in a passenger aircraft, like a jet craft. Honestly, if it were Fleet Bonanzas, it would probably be a lot faster.
Yeah. I'm on a 414 Chancellor right now.
Yeah, no, he's not flying Cessna.
Punta Cana traffic, Chancellor 91 Tango Whiskey, turning final runway, Niner.
That's the
Punta Cana.
Chancellor. He said it was Chancellor.
Yeah, it's the Chancellor.
The Cessna 414, yes.
Yeah, 414.
I thought
correct.
Chancellor was for their own.
No,
The
it's
Cessna
a-
414 Chancellor. The name of the model is the Chancellor. The manufacturer is Cessna.
Why are the Cessna planes called Cessnas while the Chancellors are called Chancellors?
No.
Well, because your Cessna that you fly is the Skyhawk. You fly the Cessna Skyhawk model. It's like a Honda Accord versus a Honda Civic, but not
You
quite the
always
same. Much
Punta
you
bigger
Cana
always say
difference.
traffic,
Honda-
Oscar Kilo Golf
you always
Charlie
say
Romeo,
Honda when you
vacated
say the
runway 09,
Accord.
taxiing to parking.
But you say Civic when you say
by
the Honda
next
Civic.
way, Foxtrot, Punta Cana.
I don't know. John, my friend, how are you doing, buddy?
Hi, mate. How are you? How are you,
there
mate?
you are.
How are you doing?
You know, living life.
How are you enjoying those jets, James?
I haven't touched one yet, unfortunately.
Oh man.
I got another.
Would you
Let's see,
recommend? So whenever I get to the P2 or P3, would you recommend that I start with like an Embraer?
No, you don't have to do that.
No.
Do it all. The only thing I think you have to do in a turbine is the P4. So, no, stick with a piston.
I believe in
Well,
P4
no,
you
I'm
can
I'm
also
talking
do
for,
your
like-
turboprop. Should
Yeah,
be good
well,
for
I'm-
P4.
It could be turbine, yeah.
Yeah, turbine.
Okay,
Okay,
actually.
but I'm talking about like when you get to the jet licensing.
Yeah, that's P4. Then that's the
Okay.
last one you gotta worry about. But yeah, Joshua, I don't go to sim training for another. Let's see, June 7th I leave, so I'll
Okay.
travel out to
All right.
So it's another 3 weeks.
You got like I was gonna say like a month or so.
Yep, and I'm
Oh,
being
that's-
paid to sit at home on my butt.
Hey, well, there's worse things.
You just
The
got to
only
go through lots and lots of book reading.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
doing a lot of reading through our manuals.
You want to know one of the good things about working at FedEx? You can just request a day off, and they'll probably give it to you if you put it in enough in advance. Because I just requested my birthday off because my dad got us tickets to go to SmackDown.
WWE.
Yep.
Oh.
Right, Tom, I'm going to have to guide you in here so you're not going over the top of that Spitfire. I've sent to put a picture in the chat.
Wait,
you go to
just
your
saying
right.
it's
You know
Spitfire?
the
Oh my god,
line.
you actually meant Spitfire.
yeah, if you go to the right
Yeah,
of the
no,
line. No, you're right. Yeah, stay that right of that line. You're right. Go right.
Haggling for an upgrade.
Josh, are you in
And
Mexico right now?
go
Where are
turn
you?
left now. You should be all right.
All right,
was
let's
that?
see.
I'm
Where
trying
are
to find
you
where these
Forward,
guys are
straight
even
on,
parked.
straight on. To the right. Right.
I went to- I want to park.
Stop.
I'm going
So-
through it.
Question for the instructor.
Actually, your wing went over the top of the Spitfire wing.
Stand by 1 second. John Thomas, where are you? West side or east side?
West.
West.
You're west side. Okay. Got it.
So, question for the instructors here. For the summary, would you recommend using that summary as like a basis for your notes, like having it as like the structure for the notes and then expanding it from there?
Sorry, say that again.
Okay, so the way I was thinking that was like, say for example, for chapter 12, describe various weather phenomena and their formation: fog, icing, turbulence, and then you have the different notes for those sections. So, like for example, for fog, you put in the information under a separate indent, I guess.
What, I don't understand. Are you trying to? You're just trying to take notes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
for optimal
that-
note taking. What information?
yeah.
I would just
especially,
take.
like,
I would
indents,
basically take a 20,000. Basically, imagine you were 20,000 feet in the sky. Take notes that way. 20,000 foot overview.
yeah. So basically, know everything.
You don't have to
That's
know
what
everything.
it sounds like.
You don't have to know
that-
everything. You have to know where to find everything, though. I don't know everything, and I'm freaking certified through the roof.
So basically,
Beware of people who say they know everything.
Yeah. If somebody says that,
well, yeah.
if somebody shows up and says they know everything, they don't.
They probably
If
know
someone
less
says
than
they
you.
know a lot, but they still have quite a bit to learn, then you
Listen.
can probably trust them a little.
All right, so this was a very funny flight under Rum Flight Rules, RFR, from here from Puerto Plata to Punta Cana, and next one is San Juan, which will be in Puerto Rico. All right, I believe that's for it today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.